Today's episode is for you if you don't push things forward fast enough in your business because you're the one who's trying to find out the way to do everything, like it's all on you. Today's episode has got an absolute humdinger of a recommendation in it for you. Hello, it's Emma Mills here and welcome to episode 236 of my TV. I help business owners who are right in that messy middle of going from entrepreneur to thriving, ambitious team. And today's episode is so about that, it is untrue. The last week's episode, if you're an avid watcher, I talked about how I am getting myself out of the PA department because that's been my skill set as a job before my PA, and so I've always lived there. And then when you know how to do something really well, you get so far into it because you're like, I'll solve that. And you know that my TV is about my experiences and us growing and everything that works and doesn't work and what we learn from that. Well, since I did Business Mastery in August last year, I've been having some coaching with a Tony Robbins coach. And my team have it too, so like every 8 weeks we have a session together. It's been fantastic. I told Linda, my Tony Robbins coach, about my transition that we're working on in the business to get me out of the PA team so I can start to operate up here and push the business forward bigger. We want to be in other countries, we want to have other products, start to really get us moving into really amazing places. And I know that right now there's only me who can do that. I can drag everybody with me, but if I'm stuck down here, we're not going anywhere. And as I was talking to her about my experience of May and June, when I enjoyed work less because I'm stuck in it so much, and I know, and it's not like, oh, why do I not enjoy work as much? I know why, and I know where I need to get to, so that's like all fine because we can't enjoy work every day, and it's part of the process. And so she said to me, who is going to do the things that you do right now in the business? I was like, yeah, that's a really good question. That's kind of what I'm like working my way through now. And she said, you must read this book, Who Not How. It's by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Actually, the book is the most amazing example itself of Who Not How. The very short synopsis of it is, and I talk about it so much, that as business owners, we bet on ourselves, we know we can solve everything, we are superheroes going about our daily work, and so we go, okay, I'll do that, I'll take it forward, because it's like you back yourself. I've said that so many times. I know I back myself to get something done, but it's poor man's thinking. People don't achieve great things on their own. And so this book is very easy reading, as you can see, and it gives you the most amazing examples of when you ask the question, how do I do this? That means you start spending time to research how you do something, or you're working through the steps one by one, and it's a long process and it's on you, and it's like, oh God, I still haven't done it, or it feels hard because I don't really know what I'm doing, and it might not even be your skill set, but you're going, okay, how do I do this? And I'll figure it out. When you say, who is going to do this for me, as opposed to, let's take my follow-up as an example. So this is our new product where we follow up leads. If I go, right, how are we going to do my follow-up? And I'm right, okay, I need to create the team training, I need to what's our operational process going to be like, how are we going to make our clients wowed, how are we going to charge for it, when are we going to invoice for it? If I start to look at all this myself, it's a very long time, it's a very prolonged project, it's not all of those things are my skill sets, it's very painful. When I say who is going to help me set up my follow-up, that is a completely different time allocation to you, because if I go, okay, so for me in this example, it's going to be my ops manager, Matt, is going to look at operationally how we're going to run my follow-up. I'm going to talk with my accountant about the pricing and does that work. I'm going to talk with my mastermind group about the packages and pricing I've got. With the client training, I'm going to get our recruiter and trainer in the office, Dan, to work on that. Then this becomes things move quicker. Other people are doing things that are their skill set. In the book, it has one phrase which, for me, summed it up, and it's called it says that procrastination is the byproduct of asking, how do I do this, not who is going to do this for me. Because I'm a real life example. When I first came up with the idea of my follow-up, I was talking to my coach Martin about it at the end of Christmas time, and we were like, okay, by the end of March, we're going to get that launch, we're going to get clients running. We hadn't done it. I hadn't done it rather. And he said to me, okay, it's now March, why haven't we done anything on that? And I was like, actually, I don't feel like I know how to do this bit, and I don't really feel like I know what I'm doing. And that is completely because I said, how do I do this, rather than who is going to help me do this? And then when we had that conversation and I realized that, and I brought other people into it, and not just go, Emma's like wearing a cape and she can get it all sorted. By the end of June, middle of June, we had a priority list with 40 people on it. We had people committed to it and signed up, and we'd moved way faster in 1.5 months than we had in the 3 months prior from Christmas time, when I was all fired up and I was going to do it, but I didn't even think about who was going to help me. I was just going to do it myself, and that is completely stupid. And so this book is a great example, because although it's by Dan Sullivan, who you might know, strategic coach, and Benjamin Hardy, Dan Sullivan wrote none of the book. The idea is his idea, like the framework, the methodology, like the idea of when you say who's going to do it, not how. Dan didn't write any of it, so Benjamin Hardy wrote all of it, and he came to Dan with the progress, with these are the examples I'm including, these are the case studies. So Dan Sullivan's on this book, and it was his idea, but he didn't say, how am I going to write this book? He said, who's going to write this book for me? And this is exactly what this is. And so if you have that problem where you go, I'm just going to get it done, please God, buy this book, because there are the most amazing examples from business, from sports. It talks about how Michael Jordan is not like one of the greatest living athletes because he just did all of that on his own. Is it Phil Jackson, the coach of the Chicago Bulls? Maybe somebody will tell me if I got that name wrong, but he realized Michael Jordan needed people around him to get him in the right position to do the things he did. So they brought in Scottie Pippen, and he had the people around him. So it wasn't about the who of just Michael Jordan being amazing and doing it on his own. It was the how do we make Michael Jordan even more amazing by getting the right people around him, and there are just the best examples in it. So please, it's not a really long book. It's got the best examples for you to implement and to understand how to change your thinking, because those people that ask the best questions have the best businesses, more money, less stress, more time. So really amazing book recommendation for you this week. Definitely take it on holiday with you this summer. I hope today's My TV helps you to get your head out of the dirt, into the clouds, and I'll see you next week. See you then. Bye bye.